AMD is getting good at ray tracing. Half-Life 3 and the B770. More details looking good. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news that I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Tuesday, May 6, 2025. Sorry for rushing through that. Feel like I need to make up for some lost time because UFD lost power for 3 straight days last week because Pittsburgh had a just nasty storm that rolled through, had severe winds. I think in some places top 90 miles an hour of just straight line winds. Technically wasn't a derecho, but it was close. Anyways, with the hills and the trees and the power lines and all of that, it took a long time for us to get power back. But we're here, we're back, and that's why you didn't have any hot news towards the end of last week, just because I had to stay home with my family and we were just taking care of all that stuff. But we're back now. As a reminder, on Friday we do have our PC giveaways. Yes, multiple that we're going to be drawing the winners for both UFD Tech over on Twitch and UFD Music over on Twitch. We're going to be announcing the new giveaways then, but go check out twitch.tv/UFD Tech or twitch.tv/UFD Music. We have 2 new albums ready to drop for UFD Music. We're getting all that put together, and according to reports, AMD is putting together quite a good setup when it comes to their UDNA architecture, which is supposed to replace everything that we have right now. U standing for unifying instead of RDNA and CDNA, which is what they have right now, Radeon and Compute, so that you have the server and cloud versions and then the gaming versions. Now it's all going to be based on a single setup, very similar to what NVIDIA has right now. But according to reports, this next generation might finally be able to reach parity when it comes to NVIDIA with regards to feature sets as well as ray tracing, with them being able to change up how they're doing ray tracing with UDNA, and allegedly even exceeding the capabilities of NVIDIA's current mega geometry tech with AMD's BVH setup. So according to reports, it looks like UDNA, at least based on an interview that AMD did, might have some significant improvements that are going to be coming down the line, and that's going to be good for both hopefully PC gamers if pricing gets back in some sort of sensibility, as well as for console gamers, because UDNA is expected to be the architecture that's going to be in the PlayStation 6 and potentially the next generation of Xbox if Microsoft decides to go that direction. But obviously we're here at UFD Tech about PC gaming, and you want a PC? You should check out today's video sponsor. You know what rocks? Having more money. Now, I know that PC gamer and affordable are rarely in the same sentence, but with today's sponsor Jawa, being an affordable PC gamer is actually possible. I won't even pretend to think you don't know who Jawa is, because I know you do. I've been telling you that they're the #1 marketplace for gamers to buy and sell PCs and hardware for a hot second now, and for good reason. One scroll of their website will show you that buying used hardware doesn't have to feel like a back alley deal. Jawa wants you to feel good about your upgrade, so every listing on their website is reviewed by a real human before it goes live. Every purchase you take, every sale you make, they'll be watching you. No, not actually, for legal reasons, that's a joke. Jawa is incredibly secure. All your information is super duper private. Still a little unsure? No problem. Find one of these nifty little check marks and you'll see that the seller is verified by Jawa, so you have an extra layer of security in your purchase. Now, to the affordable part I mentioned before. Let's check this reference 6800 out. Rocking a card that's old enough for 2nd grade? Well, this is a solid upgrade that won't break the bank. And while you're at it, you can turn that old GPU into cash towards that upgrade. Don't forget that if you're the I just want it to work type, you can check out Jawa's huge selection of ready-to-go PCs. They've even got everything from entry level to end game builds. If you're somehow new to Jawa, make sure that after you click the link in the description below, you also stop into their Discord and let them know that old Ready Boy sent you. Remember code UFD10 for 10% off up to $10 when you're checking out. Huge thanks to Jawa for sponsoring today's video. Also, with Jawa, they just kicked off an epic DIY build competition in partnership with Corsair. 10 Jawa builders were given Corsair Frame 4000D cases to make the best builds that they could. There's some awesome ones in there, as you'll see on the voter page, and anyone who votes will be randomly entered to win one IQ Link Titan 360 RX LCD liquid CPU cooler, and there's also 5 $50 Jawa gift cards up for grabs. Voting for that ends May 8th, so you only have a couple days to get in. Check that out at the link in the video description. Again, big thanks to Jawa for sponsoring today's video. And you might be able to use that component PC, whatever you get from Jawa, to play Half-Life 3 potentially this year. This is coming from a well-known Valve leaker insider who gets a lot of details on what Valve is planning on doing. And, you know, take this with as much sodium chloride as you could possibly muster inside of your capillaries. But the report is that playtesting is happening for Half-Life 3 right now. It's not VR. It's an actual desktop game. It's in all of that testing, and it should allegedly launch before the end of this year, which would be a pretty big deal, especially considering Grand Theft Auto 6 got pushed back till May of next year, not going to be launching in 2025. Gives Half-Life 3 the breathing room to potentially make a big splash. Half-Life 3 and GTA 6 launch in the same year. People just don't have enough time for that. But regardless, as I talked about in previous episodes of Hot News, my current game of the year is definitely Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'll talk more about this in comment response, but I've been enjoying the heck out of that. But Apple hasn't been enjoying its little fight that it's been having with Epic Games. Last week, it got ruled in Epic Games' favor that all of the crap that Apple's been pulling when it comes to the amount of money they're charging, as well as banning Epic Games stuff like Fortnite off of their platforms, as well as just all of the nonsense that's been going on when it comes to in-app purchases, that all had to cease and desist. And now Epic Games is launching all of their stuff now that the judge has ruled in their favor, with Epic Games saying that they're gonna not charge a commission for anybody who gets revenue from them for the first $1 million a year, and then once it's past that, it'll be 12%. That'll go into effect in June. Additionally, they're going to be building their own web shop for out-of-app purchases so that you don't have to do it within apps, as well as all this stuff happening while Fortnite is returning to iOS. It's been roughly 5 years since that happened. Companies like Spotify also making it so that they can have out-of-app purchases taking place, but Apple not taking this lying down, with them appealing this, at least filing their intent to appeal the decision by the judge so that they can continue to rake in all of the cash and make sure that nobody gets off of their platform for security reasons. That's the big reason why Apple says that they're doing it. But this could mean that you have a lot more options when it comes to subscription purchases over on your phone, and maybe Reece can save you a few bucks so that you can just whip up a few more.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals on the internet. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'll jump straight into the deals for you today, starting off with this 8-bit Do Ultimate 2C wired Hall effect controller, available in peach for only $13.99, making it $6 off. But then next up, we have the Epo Maker and Leobog collaboration with the High 75 wired gasket mount hot swappable mechanical keyboard, which you can pick up for only $74.99, making it $25 off. It is my current daily driver that I have right here. And then lastly, we have the AMD Ryzen 7 5800 XT back again at a lower price of $124.99, making it half off at $125 off. And hey, with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you off back to Brett for the rest of your hard news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, I think Skype did not get a bum deal when it came to its lifetime. It should have expired a long time ago, and now that day has finally happened yesterday. Skype is now at the end of its life, end of service. It's being rolled off into Microsoft Teams, with Skype being the platform that people used before Teams and Zoom. It kind of was like important in the like early 2010s. It was actually kind of interesting for me when I moved to South Africa. After not using Skype for years, a lot of companies did business via Skype in South Africa, and so I had to pick it back up. And so I have a lot of conversations on Skype with like old colleagues and, you know, people that I worked with in the industry. All of that's now going to be rolled off into Microsoft Teams, in case I wanted to look at all of those conversations. And in case you haven't done that, you don't want to export your data right now, you have until January of 2026, so roughly 6 months to get all of your old Skype conversations pulled back together, and maybe go down a trip down nostalgia lane with all of the bots that used to message you, because there was a lot. But I'm not going to be nostalgic for the past or graphics cards. I'm going to be looking towards the future, and we got two different stories to talk about when it comes to Intel's GPUs. Celestial, which is the next generation that we're expecting to be launched in integrated form in Panther Lake chips, as well as in discrete form sometime soon. According to new details, pre-silicon is done for the Xe3 GPUs, meaning that they should be ready to be put into silicon. All of the details with the architecture should be ready to go, with Celestial being well developed in the pipeline. This is nothing necessarily new. It's just kind of confirming other details that we've been hearing, which is exactly what this next article is about. Battlemage B770, the GPU that a lot of people have been waiting for. The B580 at $250 doesn't quite hit the mark for the gaming performance that a lot of people want. RTX 4060 Ti just isn't quite enough. You want a little bit more. That B770 hopefully could put us in the region of something like a 5070. That'd be great. But obviously, I'm just speculating right now. But according to new rumors that are coming out, Intel is actually intending to release this B770 sometime this year, with the announcement of it potentially happening at Computex. So that's the current details. Computex starts in like 2 weeks, this is the earliest Computex that I've ever gone to, and I think this is my 7th one that I'm going to be attending. Normally they're like very end of May, like and sometimes early June, but this is like mid-May that this is happening. Anyways, Computex, you don't have to wait necessarily too long to find out if this is true, but a B770 could help continue to shake up the market, which is in desperate need of a better competitor, which I'm looking forward to. And I'm looking forward to reading what you guys said in Friday's episode of, not Friday, Wednesday? Yeah, last time I filmed was Tuesday, so Wednesday's episode of Hot News. We got Peter saying, I like the idea of listing the tariffs and tax next prices. It brings transparency to why the price increases on a product. If it's because of tariffs, if it's just a normal price increase, or if the company is shady and taking money for tariffs when the product doesn't have one. I hear this, but as I was thinking through the details on this, the tariff would only be on the raw cost of the good that's coming into the country. And so they could show you the pricing of the tariff, but it might look way smaller than you're expecting because you actually don't know the previous profit margin that they had on the product, or potentially how many middlemen that product had to go through in order to get to the final destination. So a lot of people taking maybe 2 to 5% profit margin along the way. And so you see that, you know, the tariff is only $1.50, which is a significant amount more than what it was previously, because the product cost $1.50, but now you're paying $10 for it. The tariff being listed, depending on the product, could give you a good indication, or it could give you absolutely no indication and just serve to piss people off because supply chain understanding isn't quite there for whatever product that they're selling. But I do agree with you on wanting transparency. I think that's a good desire, but with how complicated the global economic system is, you can't always just have systems like this and know that it's gonna help bring transparency. It actually might just bring more confusion. And then we got Pac-Man Dan saying, I've never been a player who plays JRPGs or turn-based games, but I have like 25 hours into Expedition 33 and I'm hooked. Combat is so fun. Love strategizing and trying different combos, perks, dodging and parrying, plus the variation in enemy types is absurdly cool. I agree. I have been I was talking with a couple people here at UFD about it, and I know that this is recency bias. This is just like me enjoying it right now, but Expedition 33 is like, I want to say it's my favorite game of all time. I haven't finished it yet, so I can't confirm that, but it's definitely already in the top 5, and I'm just like barely into Act 2. The way that Act 1 ends just solidified to me that this game is taking things so seriously, but also like has the levity that you would want in a video game, as well as just the combat mechanics, the open world exploration. It has all of the things that I nostalgize about early JRPGs from the PlayStation 1 era, but brought into a modern form in a way that just takes itself seriously. It doesn't waste my time. It allows me to make choices in the game that allows me to play it how I want to. I can explore, I can fight enemies that are way too difficult for me and spend hours doing that, or I can just march through the story and get through that. I have freedom, but also in a way that is just beautifully rolled out. Like exploration's not just done to have an open world. Like it feels like everything has purpose. It's all connected. I can't gush enough about Expedition 33 and how much I've been enjoying it. I haven't played a game that has made me feel these things in so long. I've enjoyed video games over the years. I enjoyed Black Myth Wukong, but I would give that game a 7 out of 10. It just didn't completely go the full way for me in terms of things that I was looking for. I enjoyed God of War and God of War Ragnarok, as well as Final Fantasy 16. I've enjoyed and played those games, but I feel like I'm experiencing the same thing that Oblivion Remaster players are experiencing right now, which is like revisiting your youth or younger years or your childhood through this fresh modern lens with updated systems. And that's what Expedition 33 feels like, but with a brand new story. So it's like also this discovery. I'm in love with the game. I can't say enough good things. And then we got Psycho saying, all this gaming talk, what about action RPGs like Path of Exile, Diablo, and Last Epic? No, I've tried. They're not really for me. I'm sorry. I'm glad you enjoy them. I understand why people like them. It doesn't scratch my brain in the proper manner for me to want to spend my time on it. So I hope you enjoy it though. Anyways, I'm gonna be done with hot news so that I can get back to go playing Expedition 33. I want to do more. Loving the crap out of it. I'll see you back here for more of the hottest tech news tomorrow, hopefully.